It's your boy Soldier Boy, and I copyrighted claim the Artism podcast.
All right, hold on. I'll give everybody a click track so you can sync it all together. Ready? Here we go.
Oh, love you.
3, 2.
Oh, yeah. We usually do a clap. I don't know how to. Oh, I just snapped my fingers, Max. I've never been able to do that.
I don't know how, and I still can't.
I just did it. Wow.
You've never been able to snap your fingers?
No, it's
what?
been like a thing. My whole life, I've never known how. I just did it.
I'm a healer.
I'm Thanos. Okay, well, hello everybody, and welcome to the podcast. This week with very special guest, Mark DeCarlo.
Hi, everybody.
You may know him from his prominent roles as Hugh Neutron on the Jimmy Neutron show, and also as he played a role on Seinfeld. I heard.
True story.
True story. What would you care to elaborate on that?
Yeah, I played a guy on Seinfeld that had hockey tickets that Jerry borrowed, and then he didn't say thank you enough. And then, in typical Seinfeld fashion, the whole show revolves or devolves around that.
So you've had a long acting career. Your IMDb listing is quite impressive.
You got to scroll, as my friend Jimmy Palumbo said.
Yes. Yes, you do. You do have to scroll. That's always a good thing when you got to scroll on an IMDb. Mm-hmm. That's how you know you made it.
Right, exactly.
So what have been some of your favorite roles to play?
My probably all-time favorite, long time role is Hugh Neutron, because it was such a funny show and had such a great cast. Yeah, I can tell from the giggling. It was just a show that is very popular, and little kids liked it, and grown-ups got the jokes as well, and we had a really fun time making them. So, and I certainly in Comic-Con circles, that's what I'm best known for.
We were watching the episodes in preparation for this interview, and I noticed a lot of adult jokes that Hugh tosses out there.
Yes.
I never got as a kid.
Well, everyone that, for every kid, there's at least one parent, right? So if the parents like watching the shows as well as the kids, it's not only good for business, but you're entertaining more people.
Exactly. I always liked that joke with the, I sat on a banana, and of course that changed my life. I never understood that until I became an adult.
I guess it's like a meme now. Many people have said that to me.
A lot of Hugh Neutron I think is the most memed character from that show.
I wear that with a badge of honor.
Have you heard of the Yu-Gi-Oh Hugh Neutron memes?
No, what is that?
Oh, there's a whole thing where like Hugh Neutron, he's like a dark mage from Yu-Gi-Oh, and he says, "Oh, it looks like you're going to the Shadow Realm." Hold on, I'll get it for you in a sec. It's great.
He is eminently memeable because he's so out of touch with reality.
Yeah. Hey, looks like you're going to the Shadow Realm, Jimbo.
That's funny.
Could you read that one in Hugh's voice?
Hey, looks like you're going to the Shadow Realm, Jimbo. Make sure to pack a lunch.
That's brilliant. Oh, that's excellent. Thank you. That one's like one of the biggest one. One of the bigger memes is the Hugh as like he can send his son to the Shadow Realm.
He's like a Dark Lord. Yeah,
he is a Dark Lord. Oh, that's great. I always like to watch the show with the idea that Hugh is he's fully aware of everything, and like it's all part of his overarching plot. Like somehow he knows absolutely everything that's going on, and he's in control. He plays the fool,
and he just doesn't want to be bothered dealing with anything, so he pretends to be an idiot.
Yeah, he plays the fool, but in reality, he knows.
I mean, there is that one episode where he does everything in his power to just hide in his garage and like paint the ducks. So it's like it's not impossible.
Oh yeah, he had like 15 locks on the door.
Mm-hmm. Yes, they made him a truly unique and weird character to play, which is super fun for an actor because you couldn't think of a line too weird that wouldn't sound right coming out of Hugh's mouth.
Oh yeah.
Oh, definitely.
And all of just about whenever he's on the screen, it's always funny. I love the little subtle things you say, like while other people are talking, is something I notice a lot of shows don't do. Is they don't have characters talk over each other, but sometimes Hugh would just talk over other people, but like subtly.
Yeah, well, most shows record people alone. All the Pixar movies, you're recording one actor with the director. The way we did it is more time consuming and probably more expensive, but the result is better. Everyone gets into the booth at the same time, and we're all in our own little soundproof cubby holes of the larger recording studio, so that if someone, if Debbie's talking or Megan's talking, I could talk at the same time and it won't interfere with their track, but it's synced up and they can, and the editor and the director can use it if they want. So we did a lot of improvising on the show, and a lot of it made it into the final cuts.
Yeah, I just love that kind of stuff because it makes it feels more real, and it's just funny to hear Hugh just talking over people. Well, I remember
it is more real. It's more like real life. If there's three people in a room, three people are going to be talking.
Exactly. No one just waits for the other person to like cue up their line.
No, not in real life, as far as I'm aware of.
Oh no, but that I think that adds a level of comedy, and also like the animation as well. I noticed a few subtle jokes with the animation. He'll just in the background, just characters always just doing something, and sometimes just taking things without people noticing.
I've been on a lot of different shows, as you have referenced from my IMDb, and most of them are good. A few of them are great, and they're great because at every job description, you've got someone that's a plus person. And we had plus writers, plus directors, triple plus cast. The people at Nickelodeon all knew what they were doing. So it elevates the whole project. And, you're as good as your weakest link. And I don't know that we had a weak link, which probably means it was me.
Nah, you do one of the best characters. It's great. How did you get that role?
I did Second City. I was here in California and had done a couple of projects with the group that Steve Odenkirk and Paul Marshall and the guys that did this thing. And they told me they were doing a pilot for Nickelodeon and wanted me to audition. And one of the producers, Paul Marshall, I modeled Hugh after him because he never finishes a sentence and he talks very, he's always distracted by something. So I just, they told me that Jimmy was super smart. So I thought, well, it would be obvious if his dad was super smart too. I think it would be much funnier if his dad was an idiot. And then people, how did Jimmy get so smart? Probably the mom.
Yeah. Or it's just some weird gene thing. You got like a 1 in a million thing.
Right. It's like an anti-lottery.
Exactly.
How did you come to meet Steve Odenkirk then? Because I think before that you were doing like live panel shows and stuff, weren't you? Like Studs?
I did Studs, yeah. And then I did a lot of commercials and was doing, acting jobs. I forget. We did a bunch of Thumb movies, movie parodies with talking
Thumb Wars.
And was that before Jimmy Neutron or after?
I think that was before.
Yeah. So I met him during that. I had an improv group here in Southern California called the Frayed Knots, and we were, popular within that community in the late 80s, I guess. And Steve and his producer Paul would come to see us often. And so when these Thumb things started, which were very improvisational, they ended up hiring a bunch of us to do some of the voices, and I kind of started from there.
Okay. Do you have any stories from any sets or productions that you think are interesting?
There's always something interesting going on, officially or unofficially. I let me think. We had Mel Brooks come in and play Santa Claus on Jimmy Neutron. That was pretty fun.
Oh, that was Mel Brooks?
Mel Brooks, like the if you were going to think of the most famous Jewish guy in Hollywood, it's got to be it's either Mel Brooks or Carl Reiner, right? So we had Mel Brooks playing Santa Claus, and we were told by his handlers, not by Mel, but by his handlers, when Mr. Brooks gets here, don't bother him. Don't bring anything for him to sign. Don't fawn, or just he wants to come in, work, and leave. And we all said, okay. And then he showed up the day for work, and everybody brought something for him to sign. I brought a big producer's lobby card. Stephen Banks, one of our writers, brought an original 2,000-Year-Old Man vinyl album for him to sign. And he could not have been more gracious or nice to us. The girl that plays my wife, Megan Cavanaugh, was in a bunch of Mel Brooks's movies. So he made a big fuss over Megan, and it was, I worked with Mel Brooks for the day. It doesn't really get much better than that. That was pretty fun. And he could not have been nicer. And it just tickles me that think that he's Santa Claus.
That Greg Baldwin, he had a kind of similar story when Mark Hamill came on to do lines for Avatar. Everyone was just like freaking out, like, oh shit, Mark Hamill's here.
Right. Yeah. Mark's had such a great career in animation. People that don't know that think he's just Luke Skywalker. He's a really great actor. So when we get to work with people like that, it's always a blast. And my experience has been the bigger the star, the nicer they are. The people that are just sort of barely famous are the biggest jerks.
It's funny to hear stories about how like people, like people like yourself, like actors and such, they still fawn over the big actors. It's you think it's just like, oh, everyone knows everyone, right?
No, well, I mean, some people do. I don't, but Mel Brooks. You want to talk about scrolling through an IMDb page?
Oh,
he's a giant of comedy and a personal favorite of mine. Both he and Carl Reiner, both. And when you get to work with them and you're sort of on the same playing, it's like playing professional baseball for a day. You're a softball player and you get called up and you're playing third base at Wrigley Field for the day. I don't care how cool you want to pretend you are. It's fun.
Yeah, that's true. So you said you attend cons regularly where there's people like, oh, it's Hugh.
Yes, we actually, the Jimmy Neutron cast will be doing that a lot this year and next year because it's our 15th anniversary. So we're going to, we did the LA Comic-Con in October and packed the house and had a really good time. So we want to do more of them.
Do you think that there's like a big enough interest for the show to like have a revival?
It's brewing. I mean, it would be nice to do more. We get emails and, Twitter call outs and things like that often. I think what we've been told is that if the public wants it, Nickelodeon will do it. The public just has to, badger Nickelodeon until they do, because they're bringing back everything else.
Oh yeah, everything else, and even Invader Zim, which got like no, at the time it got terrible ratings, I think, at the time, and it cost a fortune to make, and they're bringing that back. And Jimmy Neutron was huge. I remember there was everywhere that Nickelodeon was, Jimmy Neutron was up there with SpongeBob and the Rugrats.
Yeah, it was.
So
we were their top show, but us and SpongeBob for 5-6 years. So yeah, we'd love to do more.
I can't imagine that a revival of that would fail, especially if you got back the old cast. Oh, that'd be great.
The old cast was all back together in October, and we had a great time. Make it happen, America.
Yeah, make it happen, America.
Bring us back from the dark place where you can't even see to tie your shoes.
I'd be interested to see what the show would look like with modern day technology and like rendering and stuff.
Well, we have all the same. We have all the modeling and all the files and everything. I think it would you'd run it through a faster engine and a better engine, and it would probably be quicker to make. I don't know that it could look much better because I thought it looked pretty good.
Oh no, it still looks good, but there's like a lot of things like it's like a lot of small subtle things, but they build up and they make it just look a lot.
Sure.
I remember there was like a Toyota commercial that was released, I think in like 2012, and it had, I think it's like better rendering.
Mm-hmm.
I'll look that up.
They didn't upgrade. Sorry, they didn't upgrade anything for Planet Sheen, did they? Was that was all using the same stuff?
Correct.
Where possible,
I believe. I'm sure. I mean, I'm sure everything would have to be. You know, who's still using a computer that's 15 years old? So,
Yeah.
I think the nuts and bolts are there. We'd have to fix up the skins and such, but that's way above my pay grade and certainly very doable.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There's God, I wish that there was I just wish that there was like a way for like Nickelodeon to just like ask, I don't know, maybe just like maybe like a poll. I remember back in the day, the channels used to do something like that actually, where they'd be like, "Oh, what show would you like to see?" and people would vote on it.
Yeah, well, you can all email them. You email Nickelodeon and hit their Twitter page and ask them when. There's on Facebook. There's a Revive Jimmy Neutron Facebook page. Join that page. Sign the petition. I think they're putting a petition together, and that's what's driving the movement.
Ah, okay. All right, we have a few more questions. We have some more questions here. Let's see. This is a question from one of our viewers. He says, "Do you like ducks and pie in real life?"
In real life, I love pie.
but do you like boysenberry?
I love all berry pies. Those are my favorite pies, berry pies. Apple pies, a little too sweet. Cheesecake, a little too much. But berry pies, boysenberry, loganberry, strawberry, all delicious. Ducks, it's a little gamey if you're eating it. And who plays with ducks, like if they're alive? So I think if I had to choose, I would choose the pies over the ducks.
I mean, that's understandable. Plus, ducks, they gotta cross the street and they slow down your car.
Right.
Big mess. You don't want to hit them.
Makes a big mess. And then you have to make duck pie. No one wants that.
oh.
I mean, I'm sure there are some people. Max, do you have any?
Oh yeah, I have quite a few. So how were you approached to be on Family Guy for the brief skit?
They were looking for someone to do a Jerry Orbach impression. So I just auditioned through my agent, and I guess they thought I did a good Jerry Orbach. So both times that I've been on Family Guy, I played a character that Jerry Orbach had played, once in Law and Order and once in Dirty Dancing.
Yeah. No crazy story there, sorry. Yeah, I asked about Planet Sheen earlier. How do you was that the same dynamic when you were in there, or like was that done differently? Because
same.
Exactly the same.
Yeah, it's a lot of the same creative team, several of the same cast members, obviously, and the same dynamic. The way we would do it is we had great writers, Gene Grillo and Steve Banks, who's won Emmy Awards. He's also Billy the Mime. They would write these great scripts, and Jed Springer would direct, and he was the head writer. And we would record them as written. And once they were happy, we would always do what we call a crazy pass. And we'd start at the beginning of the scene, and people could do or say whatever they wanted and improvise as much as they want. And those were the best. And a high percentage of the material that ended up in the show was stuff that happened on those improv passes.
Oh, that's cool.
That sounds amazing, actually. And a full improv pass? That sounds like a blast.
Yeah, well, I mean, you've got Jeff Garcia, funny stand-up comedian, Fred Tatasciore, great voice, Rob Paulson, Pinky and the Brain, Whack Yakko. These guys are not only good at voice characterizations, but they happen to be really funny people in real life and good improvisers. So, Rob would say something ridiculously silly, and that would make me think of something silly to say back to him, all in character. And it's not the kind of stuff that you really can write. It just kind of happens in the heat of the moment because the writing is so good. It draws you in as an actor, so you're really deep in the character, so you think of weird crap and you say it, and then they use it.
Did you guys, I'm sure like during these improv sessions, you know, did you guys say like inappropriate stuff, you know, like swears and stuff like that, stuff that wouldn't...
Oh, yes. Yes, we did.
Does Sheen say fuck?
Yeah, in real life, quite often. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, God. I just like to imagine Hugh just gets home and Jimmy's ruined the house. Just like, oh, Jimbo, what the fuck? You screwed everything up, boy.
He wouldn't even notice, probably.
Oh yeah, no, he just walks in and throws his he just throws his jacket on the wall, just like, hey Jimbo, the house is looking spiffy. Goes off and eats pie.
Pie is always the answer. I don't even care what the question is. Pie is the answer.
Oh yeah. Absolutely it is, especially with you.
Mm-hmm.
Another question I got is, what was your favorite episode to work on?
Oh boy, that's a toughie. I mean, the movie was great. The movie was the first thing we did, so that was probably the most fun. It was all kind of new to us then, and we were trying to figure it out. I like the one where Hugh turned into like the 70s disco guy.
Hooby dooby.
Right. And that's probably my favorite, that one. We record a couple in a day, or we record a chunk from one and a chunk from another day. So the days all kind of blended together, and we wouldn't see the final episode until 9 months after we recorded it. So by the time we saw it, we had forgotten that we were even in it. You know, you see it and you hear it and you're like, oh my, I don't remember saying that. But luckily they record the stuff.
Did you I've actually come into quite a few actors who actually haven't seen the shows they're a part of, and that's just wild. You watched?
Oh yeah, because they were funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watch them all the time, and you know, because we want to know what they used, what they didn't use, how it looked, how you know, how the animation was also a character in the show, because it was you know, really good animation. So it was, why wouldn't you want to watch that? That's
I feel exactly the same way. I was always confused whenever I heard an actor say, oh yeah, I've never actually seen the show, and I'm like,
they're lying. That's bull. That's bull. You know, you may not watch it 1,000 times, but you watch it.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe just like too busy or something. I don't...
Bullshit. You're not too. You're in this business. That's what you do it to see. If you're not watching what you're doing, how do you know if you're any good?
Plus, how do you get the satisfaction? For me, like with any creative thing, it's always whenever you get to see the final product. That's like the big release,
right?
You know.
Also, you've got to see if you're any good, right? You may be thinking that you're brilliant, and then you see the final piece, and you realize, oh my gosh, I'm playing it too big or too small, or everyone's in a different vibe than me. You got to be able to watch it, and then you refine your performance so that you get better. And I don't believe anybody that doesn't say they don't. I just heard Al Pacino said that he watched The Godfather for the first time 3 years ago.
That's what?
I was like, dude, you're missing out on a great movie. I don't know why you don't watch it.
Maybe it's a thing where, like, I don't know, maybe you just get sick of it by the end. I could understand that if it's like, especially a big movie that's like, you take 3 years to shoot it and shit, and you probably get into fights with the director on set, maybe have bad memories of it. I don't know.
It came out in 1972 and he watched it in 2015. You mean to tell me he didn't have 2.5 hours to spare in 35
He's a busy man.
Years?
He's Al Pacino. He's a busy man. He's making those Dunkachino commercials for Adam Sandler.
Evidently they cut into his free time quite a bit.
Dunkachino.
Just when you think you're out, they pull you back in.
Oh, yeah, that's just such a weird thing to me, to just not watch the final product of what you've made, of what you've labored over for all this time.
Well, the actors work the least. I mean, really. The writers work all week on a script. We come in, we read it in 4 hours, and then we go home. Then the editors take over, and the animators and all that stuff. So those people really labor over it. We work on it. They labor over it.
I'm an animator. I know how much work goes into that stuff.
Yeah, right. It's you guys do the hard work. We come in and we do the fun stuff.
Well, on a physical set though, there is especially if you're doing something intensive, like say a fight scene. There's a lot of labor that goes into that.
Yeah,
I made
true.
I made my I had to record a fight scene for my final project, and I made my friend roll around in the dirt and like pour fake blood all over him and shit.
Yeah.
It was such a mess by the end of it.
It's fun. I mean, that's why we do it. A lot of people have to go to work every day and sit behind a desk, but we don't do that.
Exactly.
We do what we do, which is fun.
Yeah. Are you like currently doing anything like acting wise?
Yeah, I wrote and produced a feature film that'll be coming out at Christmas 2020. It's called Adventures of Pinocchio, and we've got Tom Kenny, Rob Paulson, Maurice LaMarche, Phil Lamar, Fred Tatasciore, Candy Milo, Megan Cavanaugh.
Big cast.
Susie Nakamura. It's like an adventure comedy, and I'm working on that, and also a comedy game app hosted by a cartoon named Boffo the Bear.
Okay, well, keep a lookout for that.
Please do.
That sounds good with that. That's a really good cast. I love Phil Lamar, especially. He's great in everything. He's
very, very, very talented, very funny, and yeah, it's a really great cast. And we did the same thing. We recorded everybody reading the script one time through, and then we did a crazy pass, and we got a lot of great stuff from people.
And so you wrote and produced this. So how did you? This is like more of a personal question for me, at least. But it's like, how do you get that stuff through to like the people who can make it happen? Like the executives with the money.
The director and the producer with the money came to me and asked me to. They had an idea, and myself and my writing partner Ryan Rowe, we wrote the script, and then they needed someone to produce it. So myself and Paul Marshall from Jimmy Neutron signed on to produce the album or the movie for them.
What does producing like entail?
Everything.
Everything. So is it like more or less work than the director?
Well, it's a different kind of work. The director makes the animatic and stages the scenes and decides where to put the camera and things like that. The producer manages the whole process.
Oh, so he does like the paperwork.
He does the paperwork. He also decides who to hire. He hires the director. I want the movie to be scary or silly, or he shapes the workflow and the creative output. And if the producer and the director have a fight over something, the producer typically wins.
Okay. Well, that's insightful.
Mm-hmm.
Max, you have more questions, right?
Yeah, sure. So how did you get into doing A Fork in the Road?
I was hosting a travel food show on the Travel
Taste
Channel.
of America.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that ended, and I wanted to keep doing it. So the podcast space was heating up, so I decided to go and start doing that, and it's been really fun. We're now with the Food and Beverage Podcast Network and all over the world, and we were just down in Orlando, and we're going to New Orleans for the Jazz Fest next week, on Wednesday, actually. Do some interviews down there and have a good time. Everybody eats, and everybody should travel. It's like breathing.
Oh yeah,
that's awesome.
Podcasts are fun. Yeah.
I bought Sparky here your autograph for Christmas, and it was and it was from Taste of America.
Oh, great!
Yeah.
What a fantastic present.
Hey, it was $20, and hey, he liked it.
There was actually there's a story I know about.
I don't sell my autographs. Someone must.
I think it was from like the Steel City galleries. I don't know where that is. Somewhere in America.
You know what happens is we go to these movie openings and things like that, and there's always paparazzi and like regular people out front asking you to sign stuff and sign pictures and sign things, and you hope that it's for them, but a lot of times they just do it and then they sell it on the internet, and whatever. I would have signed it for you for free, but now you're screwed. What are you going to do?
I mean, this is better than any autograph, really.
That's true. So give me $40.
Sure. Okay.
Sparky, do you have it to hand?
I could go get it. It's in the kitchen.
I was gonna say it probably has like a personalized message or something on it right then, doesn't it?
Hold on, let me go get it. I'm right back.
Well, if it says to Sparky, then I must have signed it. But I never. I don't charge people for my autograph. That's if they want my autograph, that's payment enough.
Well, I can tell you that the Steel City galleries do.
Yeah, well, it's business. I get it. I get it, and it's something that people want, so it's got value, and people should be able to get it. But what does it say?
It says, AJ, thanks for the kind letter. Thanks for being SR Saver. Swear? I can't read cursive. I'm sorry. The education system has failed me.
Take a picture of it and put it in the chat.
I'm gonna turn
that sounds like something I would have written. Did you send me a letter?
Max?
I'm not AJ. I'm MD. So.
Oh, so maybe that's what they do. They send me a nice letter, and I think it's for them, and then they. Oh
yeah, there we go. AJ, thanks for the kind letter. Thanks for being so sweet. I think that says.
Oh, that's definitely my that's my handwriting. Well, I thought it was for the AJ person, whoever that happened to be. Now we know AJ's a bastard, a money grabber.
AJ's out here selling your work.
Yeah, AJ, if you're listening to this, you're not free to come on to defend yourself.
You're off the podcast.
We will trash you in absentia.
That's weird. I never knew people just like sold other people's autographs. That's
I
bizarre.
do that. That's why whenever people ask me for an autograph, I do that. I address it to them, thinking that will stop them from selling it. But I guess not.
I was curious about the AJ. I just didn't know. I was just like, I'm sure Max probably like submitted it somewhere. I have something to say actually with a story about you remember the episode where you became cool Hugh Neutron with the
I love this story.
And the leather jacket.
Yeah, and he rode the bike. Yeah,
it was awesome. Yeah. One day for school, I decided it'd be funny because I have a leather jacket like that one and glasses. So I went into school dressed like that one day, and my friend asked me, why are you dressed up like this? And I'm just like, oh, I'm cool Hugh Neutron. And so I showed him the picture of it, and his name is Max, and so is this guy, right? Mm-hmm. So, and then like 2 years later, I got like a message from him, or like it was like a birthday gift or something. And it was addressed to cool Hugh Neutron. And I'm like, oh, the Max here probably sent it because, he knows. And I joke about Hugh Neutron a lot with him. Yeah. And I'm just like, I spent like weeks trying to figure out, like, Max says, no, it's not me. I don't know who sent this. And I'm like, you're full of shit. And I'm trying to figure this out. And I get another message from him, from the guy that actually sent this. Like, did you get my thing? I'm like, oh, fuck, that was you.
Yeah. It's funny.
There's a huge misunderstanding around cool Hugh Neutron.
This guy was like shouting, putting vitriol in our direct messages for like weeks. It's like, I know this was you. Stop denying it. This is pissing me off. No, Jared, I promise you, this was not me. I would take ownership if I did because this is really funny. No, I know it's you. There's no way it's not you. Like a solid month.
Cool Hugh should have his own religion. Follow Cool Hugh.
That's the thing they write on the church walls. Just follow Cool Hugh. That's their Bible. Oh god, that was quite the episode as well. I love that stuff. There's I saw there's a video game called Soul Calibur, and you can make your own custom characters and fight other people online. I came across cool Hugh Neutron online. I had to beat him up.
That's funny.
With the memes, if do you have like a favorite one though? With the Hugh Neutron meme?
I just get the ones that people send me. I don't really chase them down myself. I think it's all very fun and wonderful. I think that it's great that the show has struck a chord with so many people. And I'm not surprised that it did, because as we talked about earlier, there were a lot of incredibly talented people working on that show, and and we actually cared how it turned out. Lots of shows people don't particularly care, but we all cared and wanted to make it good. And it's good to see that even, several years after we stopped making them, that people are still watching them every day on Nickelodeon and, thinking they're as funny as we thought they were when we made them. It's very gratifying.
Oh, yeah. Just watching it for the build up to this interview it was just really fucking amazing. It's just like, wow, I can't believe how dirty this show got sometimes, especially.
Well, you're older. You don't get it when you're 7. That's the whole point.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh, the censors let this pass? Well, he's just like, one time I saw a banana. Of course, that changed my life. The censors just let that go. That's clearly...
this is the perfect segue into the birth thing if you want to ask about that.
Oh, okay. So there is an episode where Jimmy invents this thing, and it can reverse time to anything he points it at, right? Mm-hmm. And Hugh gets a hold of it, and he spends the whole day having fun with the thing, and then he gets dragged home by an angry mob. And one of the things the people in the mob say is, he made me experience the miracle of childbirth again and again and again.
What did he have to gain from that? I don't get it.
Just a funny visual.
I just think that's the most fucked up. That's one of the most fucked up things you can do.
Well, it's certainly very trippy for a kids show, and we kind of tried to bring that same zaniness to the Pinocchio movie that's coming out. There'll be jokes that the kids like, and then there'll be stuff wedged in there that when the adults hear the second time through, they'll go, "Wait a minute, that's not a 7-year-old joke." And it's you have to weave them in very carefully so that the censor doesn't say something.
Oh yeah, is that like always part of the fun, is seeing like what you can and can't get past the censors?
Well, not so much the censors, but creating material that us as grown-ups think is funny, right? I don't
without being vulgar.
Right? Yeah, anyone could be vulgar, but if you can. Experiencing the miracle of childbirth isn't vulgar, but it's graphic. And
I'm really glad that they didn't animate that.
But every grown-up knows what it means.
Yeah, only if you know what the graphic is it graphic, I suppose.
Right, exactly.
Oh, yeah. I'm just really glad that wasn't animated, because I would not want to fucking...
Plus, if you're going backwards in time, you're going in, you're not coming out. So that would be very strange.
Hey, Jimbo, if you're going back in time, you're going in. And...
Yeah, I mean, really, if you think about it, it's like going back to the Big Bang.
Going back to the start and come back.
Exactly.
What an amazing visual you've just put in my head.
You're welcome. You can have that. Take that home with you.
I'll cherish it. Max, you got a few more questions?
Oh, yeah. Are there any other roles that you did which you wish people ask you more about, or that you wish people were just as enthusiastic about as, say, Hugh?
No, you know what? When people recognize me, they're usually pretty enthusiastic. I get a lot of people in the food service and travel business who watch the Travel Channel show that are always very nice. Thumb Wars has all the Thumb movies, Thumb Wars and Frank and Thumb and God Thumb. The fans of those things, Thumbtanic, people are very intensely interested in those, almost like a cult thing. Yeah. And I did a movie called Mobsters and Mormons, where I played this a mobster going to Mormon country.
Oh yeah, the one who he was on Witness Protection, yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of Mormon people saw that movie, so it's always funny. I'll be in an airport and I'll see a blonde family look at me and start chatting amongst themselves, and I'll instantly know that they saw Mobsters versus Mormons, or whatever it was. Mobsters and Mormons. You know what? We do the work, and we hope that people like it. It's that simple. You can't make anybody like it. All you can do is try hard and think about things. You know, I was working in a movie yesterday, and it's a horror movie, and I'm just in this one scene. I play a lawyer, but it's a pivotal scene in the movie, and I tried to come up with something funny to jam into the scene that would make it work and release some of the tension of the movie, and I think it went well. So if you approach it like like a real person would approach whatever the scene was, you usually come up with something good.
Fantastic.
Is there any like roles that you wish you could redo? As in, like, you thought you did a poor job on it, and it's like, oh, if I could just do that now, I'd do it right.
When I did Seinfeld, they never told me. The whole gist of the episode is I meet Jerry and Elaine. I tell them I have hockey tickets. If you want the hockey tickets, you can have them. They call me. I give them the hockey tickets. Then Jerry says, thank you. And then the whole episode revolves on the fact is, did he say thank you sincerely and effusively enough? And it's that kind of Seinfeld thing where they're talking about nothing. I wish they had told me if I was supposed to be pissed off or not pissed off. I said, do I think they didn't say thank you enough, or and Larry wouldn't tell me. He goes, just do it. So I think they wanted it to be confusing.
Yeah. I think you not knowing is part of what was the gist of that then.
Yeah, probably. And, certainly Larry David knows a thing or two about that world. So I wasn't going to second guess him. I probably would have made different choices had I known if I was pissed or if I didn't care. And what I tried to do is do a little bit of both so that they could pick what they want.
I guess that's perfect then for what the episode's about.
Yeah, and you do you do 2 or 3 takes typically of something. So instead of what I always try and do is, unless I make a mistake, and that's why we're doing it over, I'll do 3 different ideas and then let them pick the one that works best when they're putting it together.
Okay. Have you had any like bad fan interactions over the years?
Not really. No. People.
There was this AJ fella.
Yeah. who told me he was sick and dying in the hospital, and I wanted an autograph for him. No, actually, you know what? I think if people take the time to come up to you and talk to you, it's rarely because they hate your guts. So, okay, yeah. And if they could, as long as they're not bugging me while I'm doing something private or being a jerk, then, you can't go into show business and then be offended when people talk to you. I think that's a little ridiculous when people get all bent out of shape. Now, I'm not Justin Bieber or somebody where I'm being bugged all the time everywhere I go. I'm sure that would get incredibly hard to handle. But I have just enough fame to be good.
Okay, so you think you're in that like nice sweet spot where you have a fan base, but they're not obnoxious.
Right. All you want, as far as fame goes, on the fame meter from 0 to 100, you want enough fame so that if you ever like need a ticket to a show or a table at a restaurant or a little like an upgrade at a hotel, someone will go, "Oh, hey, it's you from that thing," and you go, "Yes, it is." That's all you really need.
I think that's gonna pay off, because that's the thing when you get into a kid's show, right? Now all those kids, they're gonna grow up and they're gonna be like, wait a minute, that's Hugh Neutron.
Exactly. And now they're gonna like yourselves, you become big and famous people like the SpongeBob people and Steve Odenkirk, and then you go, hey, let's go hire these guys.
I'm gonna get this guy. Yeah, I'm gonna get Phil Lamar.
Why did we get Mel Brooks to play Santa Claus? Because everybody on the show loves Mel Brooks.
Exactly. It's you dig your claws deep into them when they're kids, and then you reap the benefits like 20 years later.
Claws, good callback.
Max, you got some more?
Yeah. Oh, hang on, I had it. Give me a moment.
Oh, Max, you're a fraud, Max. You're almost as bad as AJ. Actually, I'm terrible. There is something I came across, and I realized this just now. There's like this pseudo religion called Hueism I discovered like a few days ago.
No,
it's got a wiki. I'll link the wiki in the Skype call. It's pretty interesting. Would you? There's the feature verse from the Book of Neutron, Carl 22:13. Behold, I am coming quickly, and my pie is with me, to render every mallard according to what he has done. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the first and the last, the beginning and the end. Blessed are those who wash their mallards, so that they may have the right to the pie of life, and may enter the gates into the retrofil.
That is hilarious.
Oh my god. This whole wiki is it's really something else.
Hughism fandom. I'm gonna have to check that out. That is hilarious.
Oh my god. There's oh Max, wasn't there something on this wiki that I wanted Mark to read? I think wasn't there?
Hang on, it would have there's like tons of weird things in here.
Oh yeah, Shrek is a part of this as well. Yeah.
Oh god, I remembered what I was going to ask earlier.
What is it?
I was going to ask, was there a moment when you realised exactly just how cherished Jimmy Neutron has become, or did it slowly like?
It kind of slowly dawns on you. We were, when the movie came out, there was a huge, we were nominated for an Academy Award with Best Picture. So it was popular right from the get-go, and I think we all had done a bunch of other things before this, so it wasn't anyone's first like big show. So everyone kind of took it in stride, and everyone enjoyed and didn't take it for granted. Understood. Oh boy, this is a good one. Well, let's keep it going and enjoy it.
Yeah, it always amazes me. You watch the Oscars from that year, you see Jimmy Neutron, and it's like, wow.
Yeah.
that's wild to see that character up there with like Shrek and the Monsters Inc. characters.
Right. Yeah, Shrek won. Undeservedly so. That was a good movie.
Oh yeah. Actually, Shrek is a part of the Hughism Wikia. I think he's your like mortal enemy.
Oh, that makes perfect sense.
So weird. Aliases. Hugh God. Why?
Who made this webpage? It's hilarious.
I don't know. Oh, the comments are great. Best anime character of all time.
Have yourself a happy little Pule.
Oh yeah. Is Donut Boy in here as like an alias?
I'm sure. Donut Boy, that's his greatest hit.
I'm sure you get. Do you get asked to sing that song at like the conventions and stuff?
I do. Yeah, we just did that at the L.A. Comic-Con, and I sang. I had kids come up on stage and sing it with me. It was fun.
Oh, that's sweet. That's a fun song as well. The Donut Boy theme song. There's so many. That episode's my favorite because there's so many references to Hollywood and stuff in that.
Mm-hmm.
I never understood. Quentin as the director, he's a big asshole.
And who played? I think Robbie played that. Rob Paulson played that guy.
Yeah, and he's Quentin Tarantino.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many hidden references in that one. That one's crazy. What else do we have here? Someone just wrote, "Please sing the Donut Boy theme song." No.
I only know the chorus.
You only know the chorus?
Donut Boy. That's all I know.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Max, do you have other questions?
Yeah, so what was it like doing comedic press work for fast food restaurants? Did they contact you specifically because of the Taste of America?
For which client?
Sorry. So I read in your press release that you've done like comedic work for fast food restaurants.
Oh yeah,
what?
Yeah. I do a lot of corporate hosting and comedy, and I do a lot of stuff in the food space because of the Taste of America show. Yeah, so I hosted the McDonald's international meeting at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas for 25,000 people. I did opening comedy set before Earth, Wind, and Fire, and that was wild. People are not there to see me; they're there to boogie. And but it was fun. Like anything else, people, if you're famous in one area, all the people in that area kind of want to align with you and have you talk about their product, or I did a big campaign for Tide to Go sticks, which are fantastic, by the way. They magically erase food stains off of any piece of clothing. I don't know how they work, but they work great.
What do they taste like?
Oh, they're delicious. They're like a marker. You get a stain on your shirt, you rub it on there, and it magically goes away.
A marker, you say? Max, do you have some other ones?
I'm pretty much almost out.
You're almost out?
Almost out, yeah. So how's 50 Shades Darker? You know, that was that.
Oh my god! Oh, you went
was that saucy for you?
It was saucy. Actually, my part in that, I know who's going to have Hugh Neutron and that on their resume. That's one I actually haven't seen, to be honest with you. I was a reporter. I was like a newscaster on a TV show that the characters were watching in the movie. So I wasn't, I just worked by myself in a news set here up in Vancouver, BC. And I went in and it was a story about a helicopter crashing, and I did it very seriously, and they said, okay. And they sent me home, and I enjoy I probably should see it. I'm sure my wife has seen it.
I'd want it on my resume, honestly. If I could have 50 Shades Darker on my resume, I absolutely would. Just for the fuck of it, right?
Put it on there.
Put everything on there.
Put it on there. Who's gonna know?
Who's gonna know?
Jimmy Neutron, Seinfeld, 50 Shades Darker.
The Holy Trinity.
Touch them all, baby. That's a home run.
Okay, Max. Should I get to the part that I've wanted to ask the whole time, Max?
Yes. You may do that now. I'm done.
Okay, right. So I just have a few things that I would just like you to read in the Hugh Neutron voice, because they're funny, right? They're memes, and I think having that audio, right, it'd be amazing.
And you're going to animate something funny to this?
Yeah.
All right.
Sure.
Well, let's see. If they're not stupid or dirty, we'll do them one at a time. How many do you have?
I have 4.
All right. Let's hear the first one.
All right. No one lives forever, Jimbo.
Okay, that sounds fine. Yeah, no one lives forever, Jimbo.
You said looks like you're going to the Shadow Realm. There's the sequel to that one. Welcome to the Shadow Realm, Jimbo.
You're welcome to the Shadow. Welcome to the Shadow Realm, Jimbo. Take a seat.
Now ain't that just quacking crazy?
Now ain't that just quacking crazy?
Oh, this is brilliant. And this one's probably the biggest one. What's poppin', Jimbo?
Hey, what's poppin', Jimbo?
What's poppin', Jimbo? Oh, it's brilliant. Thank you so much for that. That's great.
You're welcome, guys. It was fun talking to you.
I'll animate those. So yeah, I guess we're at the 54-minute mark, so that's about the average length of our show. I guess we can wrap up now.
All right.
Thank you so much for coming on and reading these lines for us. It's been quite an experience to have you talk to us. Thank you so much, and thank everyone for watching, and I hope you all have a good day.
Thanks, Sparky and Max. I will see you on the interweb.
Hugh Neutron thanked me.